Communication and speaking to people is a very fascinating area of exploration. There's this new wave, I suppose, we're in with the internet and platforms like YouTube and podcasts and whatnot, where we're able to listen to people communicate in ways that we'd never witnessed before. We never got to experience somebody sitting in a garden with a cup of tea just talking. And now more than ever, people are really connecting and understanding the people that they're observing through the content that they're consuming. And if you are somebody that strives to have an impact in the world, to share your value with the world, because we all have value to share, and it's just a matter of identifying it and then making that known to other people. If you're looking to connect with people, if you're looking to captivate an audience, be it an audience of one person or an audience of 10 or 1,000 people, being yourself, as cliche as it sounds, is the best way to go about doing that, to actually have lasting impact and cultivate connection. Tell stories about your life, your experience, not to make it all about you, but realize that there's parallels between you and your neighbor. There's parallels between you and the postman, the barista that you speak to. Our culture doesn't encourage use of the word I or me. We call it selfish. And I often get criticism. In some of my most popular videos, I use the word I because I'm referring to stories in my life. But the intention behind me sharing my story is to encourage and evoke something in somebody else. And I've tried and tested this. Things really changed for me as a communicator, as a content creator, when I started sharing my experience, my journey, the challenges that I faced. And if I look at anybody that I'm interested in, that I've learned from, that I've greatly benefited from, it's the people that are talking about their failures, the challenges that they overcame, their loss, their fears, how they feel about the world, about what they're going through. And I look at a news anchor, or I look at even a TED Talk. Let's put a TED Talk, it's more real than a news anchor, but if you've scripted what you're saying, it's canned. It's like buying canned carrots versus pulling a carrot out of the ground, seeing that there's a load of dirt on it, doing your best to scrub it off, realize that there's still a bit of dirt on it when it's on your plate, but you just say, well, it's here, I'll eat it. And you don't die. Who would have thought that being imperfect, being real, being honest was actually a safe thing to do? If you're trying to promote a business, you can do all of the marketing things by the book. But you're probably going to miss out on a lot of potential customers, potential clients, if you don't bring your unique flavor into it. Let's say you're a coach. There's lots of coaches. It's rare that anybody hires a coach because they're a coach. It's usually because they resonate with the story that they've been sharing online through the content that they create, through sharing other people's stories, through sharing their trials and tribulations. There's an edge that you cultivate when you just hit record and shoot from the hip, because it is real. Scripting is a wise decision for a lot of people. It depends on what you're going for. If you're scripting a sales page, it's good to have the information in a cohesive order that tells the story, but the words you use, those are yours. Structures and formats exist for a reason, because it's just easier for humans to consume. And that's all good. But if you script everything down to a T, if you completely reject your voice in the process of your effort to communicate with people, then you're not really communicating, you're just saying things. And there's a difference, there's a nuance there. And a lot of people would say that this video is a terrible video for the platform of YouTube because it's slow. I'm sitting in a garden with a cup of tea, talking about communication. But the thing is that the people that are watching this video that are still here have resonated somewhat with the way that I chose to communicate. And you've consciously chosen to be here. It takes a lot to have the attention span to not have clicked off this video by now. And the other ways that most of society is communicated over the years is through this formulaic, scripted, sterile, teleprompter, note card, clicking the slideshow and reading directly off it. Why not just run with an idea and then speak to it? It takes practice. A lot of people struggle with ums and ahs because there's a fear about leaving space. But that space in between the words you say is equally as impactful as the words that you say. But in our fast-paced world, where we have run times, the news that starts at 6 has to end at 6:25 so that the weather can come on, and then he only has 5 minutes. And then the next show is on. So it's programming, and it's very rigid. And so no wonder it lacks character. It lacks potency. And if you're afraid to be silent because you don't want someone to leave in the silence, then I would invite you to not worry about that, because the person that leaves in the silence wasn't your person. The person that didn't buy from you because you communicated in your unique way is not your customer, it's not your audience. And that's all right. We're not going to please everybody. The news is designed to satiate a lot of people. The same with television programs. They're not there to have a profound impact. They're there to just provide information and entertain. But there's something deeper that is happening nowadays with business and with media. And it allows us to connect in a way that we never have done before. And so if you want to be an effective communicator, you need to tap into the well that is inside you. and then find a way to translate the insight, the knowledge, the experience, the stories that you have into words for other people to enjoy or not. There's always going to be people that don't enjoy what you have to say. And there's nothing wrong with that. The sooner you learn that, the better, because then you can get to sharing the gifts, the knowledge that you have. I offer mentorship to groups of people, and I'm beginning a new group in the next couple of weeks. There'll be a link in the description. You can sign up down there. If you have a skill set, if you have a value that you want to share with the world, cultivating the skill of communication will really serve you and then the people that you end up serving in the process. Wishing you a beautiful day. Thank you for being here. Leave a comment and let me know. What did you think about this video? How did it feel to you? Other than that, I wish you the most wonderful week ahead. And I'm going to go enjoy this lovely evening.